All right. Hey, how's it, everybody? It is right around 5 p.m. West Coast time. I'm going to call it, let's see here, 2 p.m. Hawaii time, 8 p.m. on that there East Coast, and 7 p.m. for our Central Time folk. I've got a situation going on right now with my microphone. I am putting out a test for something that's happening later on. We'll explain. But if I am coming in with a double echo, let me know. I feel like I might be, but I also am not sure. So, in the meantime, while we test out this situation, I want to say, hey, Shock, good to see you. And it looks like we've got a raid coming in. Welcome, Raiders, Terry in Scotland, Katie's Aura, and who else might have come on in? I see that Pinnell is also here, subscribing for 29 months. Thank you so much, Pinnell. All right, let me just scroll all the way back up to the top. We've got Shock putting down the schedule. We have got Shock saying aloha to everybody on everywhere. Terry came in with 7 viewers. Dude, oh my god. I might know who some of these people are, like Katie's Aura and Pinnell. And of course, Terry. We've got Rick coming in saying hello. DJ Smook might have been part of that there raid. I'm guessing he might have been. Yes, indeedy. We've got Lady Misty coming on in. Gina Gamba, I want to say hello to you. And let's see here else. What else we got going on? And Terry in Scotland. Mama Sean. All right, excelente. I think I may or may not have said hello to everybody that I saw. And once again, y'all, this stream is actually going to be full of a bunch of tests, as it were, first time things, etc., etc. First off, the first thing that we're testing is, am I coming in doubled up? Let's see here. I normally have a setting different than I do today, and I'm just wondering if it is affecting how I sound. So DJ's Smook saying my audio is okay. There's no echo or anything like that. I'm liking this. Okay, good. I'll explain to you why. Pinnell, no echo here. I seem entirely normal today. Well, we are going to change that, Shock. Don't even worry. We've got multiple things on the agenda. Kenny from the Cove, did I just say hello to you when you came in? I think I thought about saying hi, but I don't think I did say hi. So, hey, Kenny, good to see you. And good to know we've got no echo. Lady Misty, slight echo. I'm hearing a slight echo as well. So, okay. We're going to fiddle-faddle for just a minute here. Let me remember what it was I wanted to do. Okay, now I feel like this might be better. So, first off, y'all, I haven't adjusted the volume yet. I'm keeping everything. I heard you. I might need to do some things and stuff. I hear that. But before we adjust the volumes, okay, the Terry in Scotland, if I don't place it on here, I place it on here. And there was no echo when I was quiet. Exactly. Okay, so I'm no longer hearing a slight echo, and I'm going to hope and assume that all y'all aren't either. So I'm going to just randomly be babbling as per our usual situation, so you guys can see, especially those with good ears who said, yeah, there's a little bit of a water, there's a little bit of a something. And so I'm thinking maybe the little bit of the something might not be there, and it sounds like you guys can still hear me, which is also good. So, okay. Barring whatever it is that we're barring, I'm gonna assume this is good. Now, I'm going to adjust other volumes as needed. Okay, Andre coming in from the Puget Sound area. Andre up here in the Pacific Northwest for his annual solstice and Waku sweet and sour fiesta. All right, well, looks like we've got the regulars in the house. It looks like I've got some of my experiments experimented. So why don't we get the party started? And I'm going to ask you guys if you've noticed anything different other than the echo, because there is something different today. And I'm sure that none of y'all notice it, but to me, it is just plain as the nose on my face, and it's kind of like blaring at me. But we'll get back to that in just a second. Let's get the party started. Okay, there we have it. No. Okay, so the highlights in my hair, my hair is not different other than things, yep, no, I can appreciate why everybody's like, you highlighted your hair. No, I didn't. What these are is, leftover blonde streaks from when I was bleaching and the pink in my hair. And, I'm trying to grow this out so I can get a lot of it trimmed off because it's really crummy. It's bad hair. And then I'm going to re-bleach and then redo the pink. So if you guys have just been like, where's the pink? Because I've been like, where's my pink? We'll get back to that. But right now we're trying to get the hair healthy and then we'll do it. So no, it's not the hair. And so I'm glad to know that my eyebrows, my, what is it, Groucho Marx eyebrows, because that's what they feel like to me. I actually put makeup on today, you guys. I put on eyebrows. I put my eyebrows on. I put eyebrows on. These are not normally my eyebrows. If you go look at previous videos, you'll see I usually don't have any eyebrows at all. It, you know, glasses, they cover that up. But today I decided to give myself eyebrows. And I feel like Groucho flippin' Marx. And so I'm glad that you guys aren't looking at my eyebrows going, what is with the eyebrows? And Gina, I never noticed them. Perfect. That is exactly the most perfect answer on both occasions. I never noticed you didn't have eyebrows. I never noticed you did have eyebrows. And yeah, the brows are mostly hidden behind my glasses, but today I figured I'd give us some brows because, well, first off, I was wondering if it made any difference. Clearly it does not. But also, y'all, today I'm doing something that I literally swore I would never, ever do. It's something I don't ever do. It's something I don't do. In fact, if you've seen me do it, you're one of the very few people in the world who have. And now I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it on video. Yeah, I'm going to do it on video. Exactly, Terry. All I need is some mustache and a nice little cigar. Yeah, I don't have any cigars. The closest I've got, of course, come in these boxes, but they ain't no cigars. All right, so you guys, coming online has been a very huge mental journey for me, and it literally started when I was watching the Daily Pigeon Live with Andy Bumatai. Prior to the pandemic, and for the last several decades of my life, most of my online experience has been very anonymous, in the sense that I don't show pictures of myself, or if I do show pictures of myself, it's generally just my face. And the reason for that is because as someone who is extremely overweight, it is, it's a little self-conscious to be putting yourself out online for everyone to see, etc., etc. Well, I took my very first step with Andy Bumatai, and I made my YouTube avatar picture a full body picture of myself, so everybody in the world could be introduced to me in my entireness. And when I say my entireness, I mean me and my entireness. I'm not a tiny person. This is me about 5 or 6 years ago at the Seattle Center Arena. announcing one of the Rat City Roller Girls home games, and putting this picture out online was enough. Was very stressful, very stressful. But I did it, and I'm doing it again, and so yes, of course you've seen that pic, because I actually, many years ago shared it online with Andy Bumatai. But for real, seriously, sharing that picture took a huge leap of mental faith and fortitude. It was a much bigger deal than anyone would who doesn't understand body issues. Like, no one, I don't expect anyone to understand. Is it stupid? Absolutely. Is it real? Equally, absolutely. So it is what it is. So that was one step. Now, the next step, of course, was actually starting this stream, because as I'm sure you all know, and as I have the mods for this, you know that online people can be extraordinarily mean. I mean mean. I don't need to explain to you. All y'all are here online. You know what people are like online. And you also know that we are fortunate enough on Andy Bumatai's show, Daily Pigeon, to have fostered a great community. And honestly, that energy, I was fortunate enough to be able to be blessed with it, with Andy's community coming here and supporting this stream. And so now we've created a community that has equally positive energy. And so we're really, between this little enclave, Photo Luke, Terry in Scotland, Daily Pigeon, here, Chatter with Stutter, I'm gonna say, man, we're the nicest people on the flippin' flirpin' internet, right? But that doesn't mean that meanies don't come in. Which is why we love our mods. And we are blessed with very few trolls coming in. Famous last words? I know. We are blessed with very few trolls coming in. That being said, as a still an overweight woman, the idea of me doing what we're gonna do today online for everyone to see terrifies me to this moment. In fact, I'm not the only one who's terrified. Gabriel Iglesias was, if you're not familiar with Gabriel Iglesias, he is a comedian, also known as Fluffy. And he's a big Hispanic dude, Mexican American dude. And he has since lost weight, but he's still a big dude, right? Fluffy! Well, Fluffy was on a television show a few years back where, nope, not gonna play stand-up clips. Once we finish this story, you'll know what we're about to do. So Fluffy was, hey, Trail Dust, good to see you. Exactly. Trail Dust, another example of a nice person. So, and I know he's a nice person because he's got a nice horse named Teeter. Anyway, so Fluffy was on a show, some show about hamburgers. Honestly, I don't know what show it was, so I'm not going to tell you. But it was a show about hamburgers, and at the end of the hamburger show, the host was like, so are you going to try the hamburger? And Fluffy just looked at him with kind of a little bit of shock, and he's like, are you suggesting that a fat person eat something on camera? And the guy was like, well, yeah. And Fluffy was like, I'm not really comfortable with this dude, but okay, I will. And that's exactly it. I don't like to eat things in front of people, and I sure as heck don't like to eat things on camera. I never thought I would eat something on camera. But we've talked about this for a really long time. It was a topic of the stream, and I have decided to jump into it, and we're going to do a taste test today. And Shock, you're jumping the gun. The Vienna sausages, if I can get through this one, those are the next ones, but it's not the Vienna sausage. This is a little bit of an older topic that we talked about a few months ago about the surprising winners of the cream cheese category of the annual National Cheese Taste Test. And the top three, if you remember, the top three cream cheeses that were winners, and they were just like fractions of a point apart, obviously Philly won number 1. Tillamook took the second place, and surprisingly enough, Kroger's took third place. So, and then let's see here, Terry, I could never bring myself to eat on stream. I eat like a vulture. Unfortunately, the resemblance doesn't end there. There you have it. And yeah, Chuck, I am on the lookout for, I have a store. I have 2 stores in mind that might actually carry the yellow can. And if they don't carry the yellow can for me to buy locally, then I'm going to be ordering some yellow can Vienna sausage, and I probably will. I might not do this taste test I'll probably do the taste test on stream, but the yellow can I will. I just actually at this point, even if I don't do that taste test on the stream, I want to taste. I want to know now. I want to know because I have posted my the YouTube show where we talked about it last stream on a couple different social media pages, some of them very filled with Hawaiians, and everybody has a different opinion about all the things. One thing I noticed though was everybody really seems to like the red can. The red can, so I might throw the red can in as the dark horse. Anyway, but that's not what we're doing today. What we're doing today is the cream cheese test, right? We're doing this. And so, let's see here. The red can is barbecue. No, Andre. Well, yes and no. The red can all the Hawaiians are referring to is the chicken. It's chicken. It's not barbecue, it's just chicken. Now, we know that the yellow can and the blue can also have chicken, and their main ingredient is chicken, but they also have pork and beef, whereas this one, I guess, is just all chicken? I don't really know. But what I do know is I just lowered the volume, and did someone say bacon? No, not. I said pork. Did I say bacon? Yeah. Anyway, so the red can that they're talking about in regards to the Vienna sausages is the chicken one. It's pure all chicken or something. I don't know. Oh, Trail Dust mentioned the bacon, and well, as long as I don't. There you go. Exactly. Don't eat bacon on stream unless I bring it up for all of you. That is a fair request. And you have your baby's Vienna sausage as a baby finger food, but you don't eat them. I've never eaten them, to my knowledge. I mean, maybe when I was really small kid. And so let's see here. All right. So what we've got here is we don't need to worry about the brand, but I've got some gluten-free crispy sea salt crackers, fresh. To try. Hold on. Boom. And then I have a plate of cream cheeses. This one, the cream cheese name is on the bottom of the plate. Okay, well that's just a pile of white on white. Anyway, this one, I don't know what ones are anymore. This one will be labeled 1. This is 1. Cream cheese 1. This, because it's the next one, this will be labeled 3 because that's the next napkin that I got was 3. And I guess because we have only 2 left, so this will be number 2. Yes, I did plan this ahead of time. I had to because it's a blind taste test, man. So, all right. Okay, now I've got a knife that I will clean between each swipe or whatever, and so we've got 1, 2, and 3. 1. And 1 looks like if I thought I would have used a different color plate if I'd actually thought this through. but I didn't. And Rick, the numbered napkins were out of order. But now we've got one, we've got two, and then we've got three over here. Okay. So we're gonna get a chip out for each. 1 chip, 2 chip, 3 chip. Kenny from the Cove, you've had Philadelphia and Tillamook. I just don't see Kroger beating them, but I guess it's really a matter of taste. Absolutely, dude. I have, okay, so for the record, I have eaten all 3 of these cream cheeses before to try them, and they are actually a little bit different. It would be double blind even if the organizers knew which was which. Yeah, and I don't know which is which, actually. I mean, I do know that what their potential is, but I truly have no idea. I rearranged, so I'm getting ahead of myself. So I put this cream cheese on these plates about an hour ago so they could get sort of room temperature. And so they're all, literally, all of them are out of a freshly opened package that I opened today. These are all cream cheeses that I bought today. So these are it's as controlled as I can get. I opened the packages, put cream cheese on, labeled the bottom of the plates, and then switched the plates around. And then I also kind of messed with the cream cheese, so none of the blobs looked recognizable from when I took them out of the package and stuff. So I really truly have very little clue which brand is what. All right, so we are about to test number 1, and number 1, no, it looks like this, but here, let me see if I can get it on the chip. Right, so number 1, ooh, that didn't help at all. Oh, here we go. Next to there we go. So that's number 1. That's an awful lot. That's an awful lot, but okay. So, can't believe I'm doing this, you guys. I didn't think I should probably take notes. Number 1 is really sweet. If I had to guess, this is Tillamook. And it's got a sweetness to it that Tillamook always... Tillamook always seems to be sweet and lacks a little bit of a tang. And let's see here. Padel, you've gotten no-name cream cheese at times. Yeah, well, I read a long, long time ago that no-name cream cheese is apparently really tests poorly in comparison to Philadelphia. But this last test showed that Kroger at least had a fighting chance. And so, I don't know if this was Kroger, I don't know if this was Tillamook, but I'm going to go out on a limb and say that number 1 is definitely not Philadelphia. I'm going to go out on a limb and say it's Tillamook, and I'm going to say it has a very sweet tone to it. Alright, so, why I'm showing you it on the plate, I don't know, you guys, why. Okay, so this is number 2. Number 2. And number 2 broke the chip, so that's different. Okay. I might have gotten a little bit, I broke the chip, it's hard to say, but there we go. So number 2. Shock, you're right. Broke the chip, definitely Philly. Honestly, I'd say if I had to put money on it, number 2 is Philly. Number 2 is Philly. I mean, I don't know that, obviously. But, here, let's see here. Number 1 I say is Till. Number 2 I say is Phil. we'll see if Kroger. Rick, yes, the cream cheeses are at room temperature. I gave this some thought, and as I believe someone else mentioned above, cream cheese does taste a little better at room temperature. Cheese in general tastes better at room temperature, so I figured might as well prep for this, get everything organized. And so for an hour they've been sitting out there. And okay, first off, you guys, if you're gluten-free, these are really good. These are really good chips. These, I guess, Milton's or whatever. Yeah, these are really good chips. All right, so, Kenny, if you have to abandon a chip, yeah, it's usually Philly cream cheese. And not only, regardless of the density of the cream cheese, the flavor itself, it has that Philadelphia tang. So, all right, we're left with now number 3, which, you know, well, I don't know. Why am I showing you white on white? I don't know. All right, this one did not break the cracker. And so that's what we're looking at here. I don't know. It smells like cream cheese. They all smell like cream cheese. Why? I don't know. I just did. Uh-oh. Number 3 has that Philly tang too. Okay, so 2 and 3 are very similar. 1 is distinctly sweet. Deb Case, good to see you. You love eating cream cheese on crackers? Well, Deb, this is more than just cream cheese on crackers. This is an actual bona fide taste test between Tillamook, Kroger, and Philly. And you might wonder, why in the flying fork are we even talking about Kroger? Because Kroger cream cheese came in 3rd at this year's annual cheese competition in the cream cheese category. Philly came in 1, Tillamook came in 2nd, Kroger came in 3rd, and they were all fractions of a point away from each other. And quite honestly, I can sort of see why. So I guess now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a plain test. So this is 1. And I'll get my wipe. Kenny, 1 step ahead of you. I got it. Thank you for the reminder. So, this is number 1 on the knife. I thought this was Tillamook at first. Let's see if I agree still. It's got that Tillamook sweetness. It just does. And I say that because I've had the Tillamook before, and it always strikes me as a little bit sweet. So, all right, let's cleanse the palate. All right, now the real deal is, can I tell apart between the 2 and the 3? Because they were very similar. And yeah, sorry, I can't remember who pointed it out or who asked, and I meant to I was so busy eating cheese, I forgot to comment. It was blue cheese. Blue cheese was what won what vegan cheese. Yeah, Gina pretty much is trying to explain to you what I am trying to explain as well. Why are words so hard today? Blue cheese, a competition for the best blue cheese was won by vegan cheese. That's what I'm trying to say. So, but you bring up a good point. Maybe one day cream cheeses will be so good that we can put up a vegan cream cheese against a real one. All right, so this is number 2. Oh, I should have done the plain first because this is a very different profile. Oh, this tastes very different. No, I'm not sure that that's Philly at all anymore. I'm going to say that number 2 might be Kroger. All right. So this is number 3. Number 3. Yeah. I think number 3 is Philly. I think number 2 is Kroger. So I'm going to change my vote there. All right. So I thought number 1 was Tillamook. What is number 1? So this was number 1. And oh my God, y'all. Number 1 was Kroger. I was totally convinced that it was Tillamook. Nope, number 1 was Kroger. So Kroger has a distinct sweetness, I guess, much like Tillamook, but not as tangy. So, okay, not as tangy. This is Kroger. See, this is how I did this. I taped the thing. So Kroger, right? All right, number 2. Let's see what number 2 is. Number 2 is Tillamook. So, okay, Tillamook, obviously, Tillamook, I have to say, is the least consistent of the packages because some packages are way sweeter than others. Some packages are way tangier than others. And so, this really surprises me, actually. In fact, I'm really surprised already. And so I guess, though, but we already know, this has got to be the Philly. So, I was right. Once I did the whatever, once I did the plain test, Philly became very clear. Because number 2 had a very different profile on the chip than it did at the end. Now, Kenny, is there going to be a ranking at the end? Gosh, you know, they're all so... Okay, the one... here's what I will say. I will say that of them, and this won't come as any surprise, gross. All right, now there's napkin in my cream cheese. Oops. Of them all, I would say that the Kroger is my least favorite. Still very edible, but probably my least favorite. And then... I don't know. I mean, I can't answer which one I like better. Do I like Philly or Tillamook better? Well, okay, so I'm gonna say I like Philly better, and the only reason why I'm choosing Philly is because, as I mentioned earlier, it has the most consistent taste profile. Tillamook, from package to package, doesn't always taste the same. Sometimes it tastes sweeter, sometimes it tastes tangier. Both of the flavors are delicious, but I'm gonna say Philly's number 1, Tillamook number 2, Kroger number 3, just like the USA cheese finals dictated. And so there you have it, Rabbit. That is something I never thought I would do, which is eat in front of the camera. And I did it. So, woohoo! And Andre, thank you so much for gifting a sub to Clyde Atmos. At least I'm assuming that's how you say his last name. And so, so there we have it. It was, it was a bit of a Kroger upset, to tell you the truth. I really did not expect Kroger to be, to win. And let's see here. It was harmless, says Gina. I know, I pulled it off like a chomp. Yes, like a champ. Okay, you guys, thank you so much for bearing with me and this slightly, this actually, like, seriously, is a way bigger deal for me than y'all would probably have any idea. Really, this was a hudel. This was a huge hurdle today. Not a hudel. A hudel is a Herge hudel. And so, yes, one more thing that I was afraid to do online that I've done before. And so there we go. Cream cheese for the win. Exactly. Now I just need to figure out what the flying fork it is I'm going to do with all this cream cheese. Because I have a 2-pack of Philly. I have the rest of the Tillamook and the rest of the Kroger. So anyone needs, if anyone needs some cream cheese, I know a guy. No, I know. I'll eat it in all. Yeah, cream cheese does. It adds a beautifulness to so many different dishes. And exactly, Shonk. Oh God, Shonk. Exactly, Shonk. I was about to call you Chonk. As a fellow Chonk, I would also not eat on camera. Exactly. It is what it is. And Kenny, time to make a really huge cheesecake. Yeah, it does seem like the ingredients are just waiting here to be made. And Penel, I eat very daintily. Yeah, I do actually. Even as a high schooler, I would have people making fun of the way I eat because, God dang it, here it is, my pinkies. When I eat my sandwiches, I eat with my pinkies up. I don't know what kind of flippin' royalty I think I was in a past life that I gotta have the pinky out. But, yes, and I'm sure if I drank tea, I would probably drink tea with my pinky out as well. Tell me more about this pina colada pie, Kenny. I know nothing of what you speak, but I'm all ears. I mean, pineapple? Sign me up. Coconut? Sign me up. I'm guessing there's cream cheese, and, well, you don't have to sign me up for that. I've already got it. There you go, Lady Missy. When in doubt, pinky out. Exactly. That is how I drink my pamplemousse. And worst big person eating on a plane. Big person eating on a small plane, trying to lift plate closer to mouth. I don't know if it's high class or low class or no class. I'm guessing no class. But I have taken to using smaller plates and holding them close to me while I eat. Not because I want to necessarily be closer to my food, but because I want to keep my shirt clean. And I'll tell you what, you guys, I don't know if I was this messy as a child. I really don't think I was. But I don't know how to eat anymore. I don't know how to eat it. It will inevitably, it doesn't matter what it is. Is it salad? Is it cake? Is it soup? Is it gravy? Is it baked potato? It doesn't matter. It will end up on the front of my shirt. The shirt will be completely clean all day. And then at dinner time, it's just ruined. I mean, it's like, well, I thought I could wear that another day without putting it in laundry, but clearly not. Yeah. Keeping the shirt clean is key. I used to look down on people who did this. Who did this before they eat. Now I understand them to a degree that is just embarrassing. I mean, come on. And yeah, you end up wearing precisely. I end up wearing my food. It doesn't matter what it is. But what I can tell you is if I'm wearing a black shirt, whatever I drip on my shirt is going to be white and frosty. And if I'm wearing a pale colored shirt, whatever I drip on my shirt is going to be dark and noticeable. That's just how that works. I think we already know this. And, and Andre's like, yep, I know that one. My mom was always complaining about all the food falling on the boobs. Yeah, I mean, boobs got to eat too, but, the shirt doesn't need to. And, excuse me, let's see here. Oh, okay, so no bag pina colada pie has only 3 ingredients. Pina colada mix, okay, cream cheese, and Cool Whip. Mix it all together and freeze for at least 12 hours. I didn't need to know about that, dude. I didn't need to know about that. Oh, I didn't need to know about that. That sounds really good. All right then. Yum. And hey, Lily M, good to see you. I'm not sure if you saw the taste test, but earlier we just got finished with a cream cheese taste test between Philadelphia, Tillamook, and Kroger. And gasp, shock, nobody's surprised. Philadelphia was the best tasting. Tillamook came in second, and Kroger came in third. But you know what? They were all worth it. I mean, for real, y'all, if you, because the difference between prices is like $1.50 per block at my grocery store. The Kroger stuff is $1.50 per block cheaper. So if you are counting pennies, the Kroger brand is absolutely not going to ruin your dessert. And Terry, in Scotland, when you were growing up, somebody would make a big bowl of lime jello, cream cheese, applesauce at every get-together. It was good. I've never heard of that. And let's see here. And you have the same problem, and I also look down on people who had stains on their front. Yeah, it's just, yeah. And Kenny, I only wear shirts so I can track what I've eaten for the day, but that only happens on a white shirt. Yeah. That's exactly it. So, yeah. All right, so you guys, that's what we know about cream cheese today. We know that Kroger actually can handle his own with the big boys. And we know that there's a new big boy on the block. That's Tillamook. So Philly, well, but Philly's still king. Philly is still king. There's just no two ways about it. But also, though, I will say this. When the chip broke on number 2, which as it turns out was Tillamook, that actually surprises me because of the 3, Tillamook was the softest one straight out of the package cold. So of all of them, I would have anticipated that Tillamook wouldn't have been the one to break the chip. I totally figured it would have been Philly, but it wasn't. Totally strange. Totally strange. All right, so I am just pulling hairs out of my shirt. Oh well, better than cream cheeses, I guess. And alrighty, so let's see here. It looks like we're right around the time of our Lono listing break, so we can do that. Oh wait, hold on. Andre, you went to Smokey's Charboil, but not hungry, so you got a banana shake. It was great. You'll go back for some food next time. Oh, good. Definitely. And I'll tell you what, they've got a great blackberry shake and a great pineapple shake too. Never had their banana shake. I didn't know they had banana shakes. I kind of wish I didn't know they had banana shakes because their shakes are super good, especially their blackberry. Well, no, their pineapple is good. Anyway, they've got good shakes. I'm glad that you tried Smokey's. Smokey's, for those of you who don't know, is a restaurant. It's a little burger joint on the corner of in my neighborhood, and it has been there for probably close to 70 years. It hasn't always been Smokey's, but it's always been a burger joint. I believe at first it was a Arctic Freeze. No, a Tasty Freeze, but now it's a locally owned and operated place called Smokey's. Flippin' delicious burgers, and every time I've shown a picture of a Smokey's burger on this stream, all y'all are like, oh my god, I want that burger in my mouth right now. So there you go. And Mitchie Mama, you can't adjust the setting, too much buffering. Oh wait, hold on, that's not what you were saying. Panel, here, that's what I want. I learned early how to deal with food on my shirt. Cold water leaves a nice wet splotch. There you go, exactly. And Kenny, I could also make frozen margarita pie same way, just substitute margarita mix instead of pina colada. I don't like margaritas that much, so I think I would prefer the pina colada. And Kenny, now you're jonesing for peanut butter and banana shake. That sounds really good, actually. And Shock, now you're reminded that the oldest DQ in Washington is just down the road, a walk-up stand. Oh, neat. Now I wonder if that DQ is one of those DQs that close during the winter, because some Dairy Queens don't stay open all year round. And GJ Smook, I've never had a pineapple Dole Whip, let alone one with Lihingway. But I'll tell you right now, I would totally eat a Dole Whip with Lihingway. And Andre, I'm sorry that you have the same problem that you inherited from your mom. Man, I looked down and got shake on my shirt. Yep. There you go. There you have it, Rabbit. Even the best of us. Even the best of us get the shake all down the shirt. Okay, you guys. It isn't the first day of summer yet, but alas, we're not going to be streaming on the first day of summer. And so I can't do this on the first day of summer, but this next song is a Lono tune. It's called Blue Eyes of Summer, and I figured we could play it in honor of the fact that summer is just around the corner. And so, let's get our Lono listening break started.
Okay, let's do it. Blue Eyes, Summer. Maui Meadows way. It's been 4 years since I've been on my own. It's all behind me, this broken relationship I wore. I'm surrounded by 4 walls, but I ain't got you. Tell me what it takes just to be with you. Give me just a hint and I'll know too. Break, 'cause I ain't got you. Down on the sand and there I go once again, thinking about you, trying to make this dream come true. And all the while the bright sunshine make my thoughts go weird. I'm going in, I'm gonna swim and be free. It's sunset, baby, me tonight. You can come over and make it right. If it's a schooling that's holding me back, baby, I can't wait. So we'll count all the lonely days, they keep going by. When you took off your Ray-Bans, let me stare into your deep blue eyes. Baby, what am I supposed to do? I'd be holding you in my arms tonight. Living since I met you. Sail over to my house, eyes are blue, just a little bit closer. Send me those blue eyes of summer, those blue eyes of summer, those blue eyes of summer, those blue eyes. Send me those blue eyes of summer, those blue eyes of summer, those blue eyes of summer, those blue eyes. Send me. Gonna climb that mountain to the little town, gonna see the girl in the little green house, gonna make my way through night and day, just a little bit closer. Send me. Through the window I see her looking out at me in her cut-off jeans. Yeah, I really need. Is it just that I feel so good inside? Just a little bit closer. Send me those blue eyes of summer, those blue eyes of summer, those blue eyes of summer, those blue eyes. Send me those blue eyes of summer, those blue eyes of summer, those blue eyes of summer, those blue eyes. Send me. Gonna climb that mountain to the little town, gonna see the girl in the little green house, gonna make my way through night and day, just a little bit closer. Send me. Through the window I see her looking out at me in her cut-off jeans. Yeah, I really need. Is it just that I feel so good inside? Just a little bit closer. Send me those blue eyes of summer, those blue eyes of summer, those blue eyes of summer, those blue
All right, there we have it, our Lono listening break. Now, just a sneak peek for what's going to happen on Sunday. On Sunday, I will be playing, actually, before I go into that, hey, Felicia, good to see you. Thanks for coming on in just in time for the Lono listening break. And speaking of the Lono listening break, for those of you who might have been following along and know the story on your own self, you might have noticed the last few streams, the songs for our Lono listening break have been picked very explicitly. And next stream, we're going to have a final in that, in the series of 4 Lono songs. The particular 4 Lono songs in question are all written about the same person and the same relationship. In fact, if you listen to these songs in the right order, which I did not play them in the right order, but if you do listen to the songs in the right order, you will have the entire story of his relationship with this one particular person. Now, I'm not talking gossip out of school. If you go to the Molokai Evie page and read the details for the songs in question, or if you go to his Lono Kaupe'e page and read the details about the songs in question, it becomes very clear that these are all about the same person. So the songs in question are, of course, 1924, Lady Carries Me, Blue Eyes of Summer, and next one that we're going to be catching on Sunday will be Until I Get It Right. And so those 4 songs, pretty much, if you play them, could probably be a Hallmark movie, so to speak. But alas, I'm not a script writer for Hallmark, so I'm not going to make that movie. Anyway, there we have it. So, it sounds like the mandatory fun ice cream social has started downstairs. Ah, shock, of course, still at the Aikido situation where she gets to pretend that she has things to do so she can avoid doing things she doesn't want to do. And some of the things she's pretending that she has to do is she's pretending that she has to be here. Now, we all know that she doesn't have to be here, but we also know that we love it when she is here. And so, Shock, you need to be here. You cannot leave. I forbid it. Unless, of course, that ice cream is calling your name, in which case, go be social at the ice cream social. But if you need an excuse, blame me. And let's see here what happened while we were listening to Lono. It looks like people were dancing, so everything's good. Oh, Michimama, you weren't getting the... Okay, gotcha. You weren't getting the Subaru. It was for your brother. All right. And Felicia, very late internet issues. Well, I'm sorry that you had internet issues, but by all means, no need to explain yourself. The fact that you showed up is good enough as far as I'm concerned. So super, super stoked you're here. Although I will admit you missed a cream cheese taste test. You actually got to see me eat the cream cheese because, like, I don't know why you need to see somebody eat cream cheese, but you did. You got to. If you want to go rewind, you just like, oh, she ate cream cheese. I'm riveted. And as it turns out, Philadelphia is the best, Tillamook is the second best, and Kroger is the third best. And there we have it, Rabbit. And if you're wondering, wait, what brands? These brands. These are the brands in question. All right? These are the brands in question. Philly number 1, Tillamook number 2, Kroger number 3. And right to Hallmark with my Lono pitch, I might get in advance. There are worse ideas out there, Terry. Actually, there are way worse ideas. And let's see here. Treadless, you're a bit confused. Typically, you're the one to blame. Oh. Well, Trail Dust, here's the deal. I am usually confused, but now I will take the blame off of you. And let's see here. Andre, socialism would be more taken to if ice cream was involved. Instead of the ice cream social, we would just have ice cream socialist. You're so silly. You're so silly. Okay, you guys, so let's see here. Yeah, we were all pretty much riveted while I was eating the cream cheese. Oh, I'm sure. I mean, this was high quality streaming right here. What was it? Broadcast quality, I think is what that was. Yeah, that was broadcast quality right there. It's like, oh, look at this white goo on a chip. Let me put the white goo on a chip in my mouth. Well, you know what? Here's what I can promise. Even though I never thought that I would eat anything on camera, I do feel fairly confident in the fact that you will never see me eating a smoky, moist, gray sponge burger on this stream. I think we can all agree on that, okay? No smoky, moist, gray sponge burgers on this stream. And if you don't know what that's a reference to, well, we can explain. And no, Felicia, we did not do it on bagels. We did it on this thing called Milton's gluten-free crispy sea salt chips. And man, do I eat like I eat on camera all the time? Yeah, I do. Well, yes and no. I mean, except for the times when the mouthfuls end up on my shirt. But yeah, for the most part, that is how I eat. And that's exactly it, Terry. Bernie would be shouting, "The top 1% are getting the rocky road, while the bottom 99 are stuck with vanilla." And what's the carb count on those chips? That is a really good question, and I'm sure it's way higher than I need. Okay, well, it's 2 grams of sugar, which is not good, but only one of them is added sugar. But for 14 chips, the carb count is 22 grams of carbs. So these are not keto friendly by any stretch of the imagination. But 14 chips, I think I only ate like 4 chips. Because I ate one during the Lono listening break. I only ate 4 chips, so currently my carb count is pretty low. But they're not. This isn't keto friendly. Gluten-free stuff is very, very rarely keto friendly. That is one thing I have noticed, much to my chagrin. Yeah. But if you're in the mood for a good gluten salty chip, this is a good gluten salty chip. All right. So, Penel, you know what? I like vanilla ice cream too, actually. Especially since you can make it any flavor you really want, you know? Especially when you can eat vanilla ice cream with cranberry sauce. Vanilla ice cream with cranberry sauce, y'all. So tart, so sweet, so delicious. Cranberry sauce, you know, like the stuff at Thanksgiving. That weird stuff that comes in a can. Or the weird stuff that you can make on the stove. It doesn't matter. It's all good when you put it with ice cream. The canned stuff usually isn't good. But with ice cream, it's pretty good. And yeah, Andre, you saw keto bread and you wondered what they made it from. Yeah, I wonder. And whenever I look, I'm always disappointed. But, dude, the other day I was at the Eagles Club as a guest because I was thinking about joining the Eagles. And oddly enough, this is a beautiful segue because we were going to talk about fraternal organizations later on in this stream. But I was at the Eagles Club as a guest, and they had a cauliflower crust pizza. Now, I don't know for certain if it was gluten-free, but I'm going out on a limb and assuming because it was a cauliflower crust pizza, it was gluten-free. Oh my God, dude. Okay, first off, I was not expecting to even like the cauliflower crust, just because most of them that I've tried are just not impressive. Dude, this cauliflower crust pizza, I don't know if they get them at Costco. I don't know where they get them. But this cauliflower crust pizza actually it had a mouthfeel like a piece of thin bread. It was, if you really looked for the taste of cauliflower, you could tell there was cauliflower in that crust. But for the most part, it really was like a very nice thin crust pizza. Not as crispy as most thin crust pizzas could be, but the texture still was very bread-like. I was so confused. So if anybody knows what kind of cauliflower crust pizzas that Costco might sell, or cauliflower crust pizza shells that Costco might sell, I actually don't know if they get them at Costco, but judging from the rest of the menu on the Eagles, it's pretty much looks like it's Costco food. So I'm guessing that the pizzas come from Costco as well. But I don't go to Costco. I don't have a membership to Costco, so I don't know anything. I don't know what they sell there. But if you guys do, off the top of your head, it's like, oh yeah, Costco has Cece's gluten-free crust, blah, 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 or just let me know. Let me know. Chat away and let me know. But here's the deal, y'all. So I went to the Eagles Club to see, because people around me are joining the Eagles Club right and left. And one of the reasons why they're joining the Eagles Club is because it's way cheaper to drink at the Eagles Club than it is to drink at regular bars. And so I vaguely thought maybe I wanted to go join the Eagles. I thought maybe. I'm not going to now. We're not going to get into why, but I'm not. But what I did learn, actually, about the Eagles, and let's see here. Aldi has a good cauliflower crust pizza, but not low carb. Got it. Yeah, and I don't have any Aldis here, so god dang it. And Gina Gambo, what is the Eagles Club? Well, the Eagles Club is an awful lot like, okay, hold on, wait. Terry in Scotland, looking for your next gluten-free pizza option at Costco? You're in the right place. Milton's 2-pack cauliflower pizzas are the perfect addition to my dinner table. Milton, you say? Milton? Oh, sweet, Terry. I'm gonna have to look into that, and that'll be very easy for me to remember. Wow, that doesn't really bode well, does it? That'll be easy for me to remember because I've got Milton's right there. All right then. So Gina wants to know, what is the Eagles Club? Andre wants to know, I think I drove by the Eagles Club. Is it on Ambaum? No, it's not on Ambaum, and you're thinking most likely, Andre, of the Elks Club, which is on First Avenue. The Eagles Club is just off of Ambaum, but you can't see it from Ambaum, and you would have to know what you're looking for to even see it. And so no, you're thinking of the Elks, because the Elks is a huge sign. You can't miss the Elks. But basically, though, the Eagles is a fraternal organization, much like the Elks Club, much like the Odd Fellows, much like the Lions Club, much less the Veterans Affairs, much like the American Legion, much like the Kiwanis Club, the Shriners, etc., etc. And so these are all little logos from various and assorted, somewhat well-known clubs. Now, the Eagles Club is one that is nationwide, and you might have heard of some things that the Eagles Club has done. Now, as it turns out, the Eagles Club was originally formed in Seattle, Washington. This is the Eagles building, the Eagles Auditorium building, which has apartments above it, and it has art spaces below it. It has stages below it. And so the Eagles was formed in the late 1800s by a bunch of, basically by a bunch of strike-breaking theater owners. The musicians were on strike in Seattle, and the theater owners were pissed off about it. So they gathered together, formed a coalition, and decided to bypass the musicians and just hire piano players instead of full-blown orchestras. And I don't know how the unions worked at that point, so I can't say how they got away with it. But what I can say is, by saying screw you to the orchestras and bringing in only piano players, they were able to restart the theater and bypass the theater strike, the musicians' strike on the theater. And so, so basically, the Eagles Club, they started, I can't even remember the exact details, so here, it's a very short story, and there we go. No, come on, here we go. All right, so it was founded February 6, 1898 in Seattle, Washington by a group of 6 theater owners. Originally made up of those engaged in one way or another in the performing arts, the Eagles grew and claimed credit for establishing Mother's Day. And also, they helped to establish Social Security in their lodges. The Fraternal Organization of Eagles is an international nonprofit, unites fraternally in the spirit of liberty, truth, justice, and equality to make human life more desirable by lessening its ills and promoting peace, prosperity, gladness, and hope. They were originally called the Order of Good Things, but they eventually changed to have their logo be an eagle, and their they call their little clubhouses Aeries, Aerie, which is another name for an eagle's nest. And that is why the Seattle's Eagles Club has Aerie number 1, because that's the very first one that existed. And so, and so these meetings would oftentimes take place on various and assorted theater stages, and the group spread nationwide because of incoming theater troops that then heard about this and decided they liked what was going on. Because ultimately what happened is people who work in the performing arts oftentimes aren't very rich. And so what eventually ended up happening was, if you became a member of the Order of the Eagles and then say well, first off, you could only be a man to be a member of the Order of the Eagles, which is one of the reasons why I'm not joining. But back in the day, before that became an issue, it was just a given that only men got to be part of it. And so the man who was the member of the Eagles, he, for some reason, let's just say, died suddenly. And he's got a widow and he's got kids and they have no money now. The Eagles would give them a monthly stipend. The Eagles had programs for their members that, like, if you go and look at the Wikipedia, they actually evolved into things like Medicare and Social Security. So the Eagles and their formation absolutely had a ton of positive enforcement when it comes to American law, and they also take credit with starting the holiday of Mother's Day. So the Eagles, I had no idea that the Eagles had been founded in Seattle, but the Eagles were founded in Seattle and have a lot under their belt, actually. Now, I'm not going to be joining them for a few reasons. First of which, technically speaking, I cannot join the Eagles because I'm a woman. I have to join the Eagles auxiliary group, the lady auxiliary group of the Eagles. And frankly, I think that's silly. I think it's silly. It's not the word I was gonna use. Flying, flirping, forking, effed up is really more the language that I want to use, but instead I'm gonna say it was silly. It's silly, okay? It's silly. And they've also taken to court a couple different concepts that I there's some things that their stance on some things and mine are literally opposite, and they're irreconcilable, as it were. So, like I said, I won't be joining the Eagles, but I will happily be a guest and partake in their cheap drinks. Now, Darlene, so good to see you. So good to see you there. It's okay. You were out with dinner with a couple friends. Life takes priority over online things. So I'm glad you could make it, but I'm even more glad that you went out and had dinner with a couple friends. And let's see here. Looks like I missed something that Terry said. Do I know that the bald eagle isn't officially the national bird? If I was a puppy, I'd be doing my confused puppy face. No, Terry, I truly thought it... No. Terry, I truly thought... I thought that... Okay, so in my wrong learning of American history, I thought that argument had been settled. I thought that Ben Franklin wanted the wild turkey, and other people wanted the eagle, and so the eagle won out. Like, well, shoot, gosh darn heck fork. I had no idea. Learn something new every day. But yes, Andre. Exactly, Andre. They started as strike breakers, which, first off, right, that's problem number one. Black mark number one. Number two, chicks can't join. Black mark number two. We've got a couple other black marks that get into politics, and so I'm not going to discuss them here. But their stances on a few things are irreconcilable with my stances on a few things. And we'll just leave it at that. And Terry, you're surprised too. It's on the national seal, but isn't the national bird. Yeah, that is just so weird, man. Terry in Scotland, Benjamin Franklin didn't want the turkey. That's a myth. Well, listen, you coming in with all your facts. I'm not so sure I'm ready for the facts. I'm not sure I can handle the facts, man. You over there in the UK telling me what is or isn't my national bird. I'll show you my national bird. No. Kidding, obviously. You read about it today. Okay. All right then. All right, perfect. And Darlene, yes, times with friends are fun, especially when you get a tequila or two, but not five. Not 5 tequilas, just 1 or 2 tequilas. Not 5. And hey there, Picola T. So good to see you. You missed a whole bunch, man. You missed a cream cheese taste test. You missed us talking about the Freemasons. We didn't really talk about the Freemasons. We talked about the Eagles. You missed us talking about the Eagles, both the band, because I think somebody saw the Eagles at the Eagles. No, wait, what was it? You saw them at the Doors? No. Dr. Steve saw the Doors at the Eagles for $3 back in the day. All right, there we go. We're talking about national birds and what is or isn't a national bird. And apparently the eagle is not our national bird. And yes, you did miss it. We had a taste test between 3 different cream cheeses. 3 different cream cheeses. And I'm sure you'll know which one won. That would be Philadelphia. Tillamook took number 2. And, well, Kroger took number 3. But Kroger is actually remarkably tasty. So don't look down at Kroger. If you're penny pinching and you need some cream cheese, Kroger is actually Kroger is punching above its weight. Kroger is way punching above its weight. And Pinnell, I don't care what you say. You know what your official bird is. You know what the official bird for Canada is. At least according to the United States. You know the goose is yours. The cobra chicken belongs to Canada. The hissing, scary, mean goose, the Canadian goose, that's your bird. You know it. I know you've got a loony on your coins, and loons make prettier noises, and everyone loves a loon, and nobody, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You know what your bird is. Even if it's not your bird, you know what your bird is. No, Andre, it's the Canadian goose. I mean, you and your facts might be right, but I reject your facts and substitute them with my own. And it's the Canadian goose. And, yeah, exactly. All over Woonsocket, Rhode Island, the Canadian geese are everywhere, dude. I mean, they really are. And I'm giving Pinnell such a hard time, but I actually don't mind Canadian geese. But I know that lots of people don't. Or lots of people do, I mean. And so, okay, Terry in Scotland. Terry in Scotland coming in with homework and footnotes. The Washington Post, opinions, bald eagle national bird. Obviously, I'm not going to click on that link right now, but I will be clicking on that link later, because I'm definitely going to want to be reading about these shenanigans. And Pinnell, some people chose the gray jay. That's like people in Florida who don't want to have the flamingo for their state bird. I mean, come on, dude. Are Hawaiian geese as mean as Canadian geese? I don't know, Kenny, because the Hawaiian geese are endangered, so you're not allowed to go as close to them, whereas Canadian geese are not endangered at all. And so you can you're allowed to be near them. And then when you get near them, the Canadian goose says, "You're not allowed to be near me. I don't know who told you you could come here, but I'm a Canadian goose and you're not. So we need to deal with that right now." And that's how that conversation goes. And, and let's see here. The Google machine and all government sources say the American bald eagle is the national bird. Washington Post opinion pieces don't suddenly change that. I don't know. I still want to read all about that because I am intrigued. And Bacola T coming in. Okay, see, yeah, that's what I kind of thought. The Nene geese are shy compared to their brassy, bossy cousins up north. Yeah. And Andre, yeah, the Nene geese are mellow, but the Hawaiians might get mean if you get too close. Good point. And no, Terry, the Texas state bird, I think, is the same state bird that Florida currently has right now. And it's like, well, we talked about it a couple streams ago, and I don't actually remember, but it was something that was stupid and random. It just didn't make sense. Florida needs the flamingo. Texas can have their turd bird, but that's not what it is right now. Something like a northern something. I don't remember. Oh, dang it. You're going to make me have to look this up, aren't you? Yeah, you probably are, but I'm not going to. Instead, while we're talking about birds, I really, really could not have scripted this any better. But while we're talking about birds, y'all, this is what I came home to yesterday. In the middle of my entrance to my driveway, pretty much placed perfectly in the middle of the entrance to my driveway, almost as though it were a warning of sorts. I mean, it really was, it felt like a message was being sent. That's it, the northern mockingbird. Thank you, Rick. I knew it was something like that. I knew it was a northern something, which right there, it's like, Texas, why do you have a northern anything as your thing? No, because Texas, you might not be the South, but you sure as Flying Fork ain't the North neither, right? Right. Kenny, I thought it was an omen as well. I mean, as I posted on my Facebook page yesterday, oh, this can't be good. Yeah, a perfectly torn off crow wing. I mean, the entire wing in its entirety from the Department of Redundancy Department was left. And honestly, I don't like, there's so many things I am fearful of about this wing. First off, did my cats do it? Because if they did, they are going to be in for the rest of their life being terrorized by the family of the crow that they did in. I know this because my old roommate had a cat that killed a crow, and trust me, the crows do not forget. So I'm terrified that first off, my cats were to blame. I don't think they were. I've got no evidence showing that they were to blame. And the actions of the crows around me do not indicate they were the ones to blame. That being said, I'm also concerned because from what I can tell, and this is exactly the time of year this would happen, from what I can tell, there has been, for several years, there's been a nesting couple of crows. I mean, I guess a pair of nesting crows is what I'm trying to say, that have used my front trees as their nest, and they've had their babies there. And this is the time of year that the babies leave the nest. And not trying to make you guys look at something gross, but if you look at that wing, I'm seeing some downy feathers in that wing. which says to me, this might have been a baby trying to leave the nest. And so, if that's the case, even if my cats weren't the ones responsible, clearly this has not become a safe place to raise baby crows. And so now I might not have nesting crows in my yard anymore, which really bums me out because the crows and I have a really good relationship. They call to me when they need me to bring the cats in, and I do every day. And I'll tell you right now, since I came home yesterday, there's been a serious lack of crow activity in my yard, and I don't like that. I'm used to hearing crows calling all the time. My yard is basically silent, so I have a very bad feeling about where that crow came from. And honestly, it does. Andre, when I pulled in, I was just like, it totally felt like a hex. So much so, and I know, you guys, you can seriously, in fact, I'm going to do it right now. I'm going to just preemptively, but just so you guys know, this is full on what I expect you to do after I tell you what I did. So, yeah, it might have been, actually, honestly, it's got, whatever it was, dude, seriously, it tore that thing off very brutally and neatly. I mean, I'm almost wondering if it was like a raccoon or something. I don't know. But what I do know is this. Because, all right, maybe Kenny, you're not going to point and laugh after I say what I say. Kenny's like, yeah, you might want to burn some sage and see if you can't smudge the bad mojo away. Precisely. So I didn't burn any sage, but what I did do instead was I gloved up, okay, and I took the wing from the street/driveway area, so no one would run over it. I took it and brought it into my front yard, and I laid it on a bed of pine cones, and then put a little wreath of red and green Douglas fir branches, and then bordered it with some lichen, and then finished it off with some bamboo poles to create, I don't know, for lack of a better term, a shrine to it. And it's underneath my 2 trees. And I'm hoping that will soothe whatever savage beast did, whatever the flying fork did, what they did. And like I said, all y'all can point and laugh at me. It's just like, how superstitious do you have to be? I don't know, man. I mean, it's not gonna hurt, right? And it might help. It probably won't help, but it's not gonna hurt. And also, I didn't want to see it run over in the middle of the street anyway, so I'd much rather have it decomposing in my yard than in my driveway. I didn't want to run over it. I didn't want other people to run over it. But yeah, I kind of built it a shrine, and I hope that it will make the other crows feel better about what happened. I don't know. I don't know. But yes, precisely, Picola T, I will not be saying that name one time, let alone 3 times. All right, Felicia, good to see you. So glad you could come in. And we are looking at about 4 minutes to the bottom of the hour, so it is basically time to wrap things up. And Gina, that's actually kind of sweet. Yeah, well, I mean, I knew I couldn't let it be there. That much I know, because I didn't want to run over it. And it was pretty much gonna get run over, if not by me, by somebody. So, and then Darlene, you did give it a burial, and better than leaving it in the driveway. I would have buried it too. Yeah, actually, I didn't bury it. I left it out in case... This is what I did. Y'all, okay, this is really where you can point and laugh. I left it out so the crows would know where it was, so they could pay their respects if they wanted to. I have no words for what it is that I did, but that was my logic. So they could pay their respect. I wanted them to know where it was. I wanted them to know. Yeah. On that note, oh boy, she's fallen over the edge. Exactly, Picolati. And Pinnell, exactly, crows are super smart. And so I thought, if nothing else, what I wanted to let the crows know was, look, I'm sorry for your loss. I've done everything I can to make sure that my cats don't harm your people. My people don't harm your people. And I still like you, and I want you to be here, and I want you to feel safe, even though maybe it's not safe. And I'm looking up, like I'm looking at the crows. Anyway. Yeah, so there we go. I'm glad you guys think that it's sweet, and I still think that a pointing and laughing emote is appropriate here. But yes, Kenny, I try to have a good heart, and animals should be respected. Picolati, on the other hand, the crows might think it's a warning. Honestly, I thought that too. I did. I thought that too. But then I was like, well, I mean, it did happen here, and so maybe they do need to be warned. I thought way more about this than anyone should have. But seriously, y'all, when I pulled into my driveway yesterday and saw it, my first thought as I was approaching my driveway was, oh my God, please tell me that's not a crow. Literally, I said that out loud. Or maybe I didn't, but I thought it loud enough. Pulled in, ran down my driveway. My neighbor was looking at me like, I have never seen this bitch run so fast in my life. What the hell is going on? And I saw it, and I just stood there, and then I took a picture, which is weird. And then I went up, and then I got my gloves and did the things. So yeah. Oh, that's so sweet, Terry. That's why everybody loves me. I have a good soul. I try, but I'll tell you what right now, dude. I am a Gemini, so there's some evil little snakes that can get hissy sometimes. And, Darlene, you're glad you've got your Rick. You're too sentimental. You'll call Rick for the dead bunnies. Right, exactly. He takes care of them for you. Yep. Oh, Kenny, I have no doubt that we're on the same page when it comes to aminals, for sure. I think a lot of us here on this page are of the same mindset when it comes to the aminals. And exactly, friends to the black and white creatures. And crows are smart if they blame. True, Andre, crows are smart, and if they blamed me, I would know by now. That is true. That is very true. So I'm feeling, which is one of the reasons why I'm feeling fairly confident my cats weren't responsible. But good Lord, I am really, really, really hoping they are not. And Andre, you saw a bunny this afternoon in Bury, and I am not surprised. I've seen so many bunnies this year, it's not even funny. And, all right, you guys. Now that I pointed and laughed at myself, and nobody else did, which was super, super sweet, Picolati, you're an ugly, sobbing mess. Yes, it did. I got a little teary and when I saw the crow, especially when I saw that it had downy feathers in it, and I was just like, oh, is it its baby? Oh no. Yeah. And Gina used to work for a child development center where they would call you over to remove the insect and release it outside without hurting it. Yep, there you have it. Totally. I tried to do that once at a job that I had. There was a mouse, and I wanted to just take the mouse outside, but I had it in a trash can, and I didn't know that mice could jump as high as mice can jump, apparently. So, like, as I'm leaving the office with the mouse in the trash can, and I'm walking through the lobby of the office, the mouse literally jumps out of the trash can and runs through the lobby, freaking everybody out in the lobby, and then the mouse is now running through the building again, and so, yeah, that was a bit of a problem. I was trying to be nice. Didn't work. Yeah, exactly, Darlene. Bunny explosion. Tis the season for bunnies. Yes, exactly. It was a praying mantis in the bathroom. Everybody said, get Miss Gina. Absolutely. Well, in praying mantises, those are super beneficial. You want those bugs. Totally. All right, y'all, before we start talking about bugs, because that was not on the menu for today, we better wrap things up. It is 1 minute after the bottom of the hour, which means we aren't going to see each other for Chatter with Statter until next Sunday. Saturday, we're going to see each other for Statterbox of the Cinema. I have no idea what movie we're going to watch. We'll have to figure that one out later this week. But for those of you who are going to be watching Daily Pigeon Live tomorrow, at 3 p.m. Hawaii time, 6 p.m. West Coast time. You just might see me there. And when I say you might see me there, you'll see what I'm talking about tomorrow. All right, you guys, have yourself a good day. We'll see each other